Well, take Crimea. It's an interesting case. The Russian takeover of Crimea is undoubtedly a criminal act. It violates the UN Charter. It violates specific treaties in which Russia agreed with others to observe the boundaries of Ukraine. So it's a criminal act. Is it the only such act in the world? For example, how much have you read about a much more severe case, the U.S. takeover of southeastern Cuba 110 years ago? The U.S. took over southeastern Cuba at the point of a gun. In fact, technically, there was a treaty, but under military occupation, you know what that means. There was a treaty in which it's what we call Guantanamo. It includes Cuba's major port. The U.S. has absolutely no claim to it. Whatever one thinks about Crimea, there is a claim. Popular support, history, Khrushchev's handing over of Crimea to Ukraine without even asking the population, a referendum in 1991, which came out with about the same results as the recent one, the major Russian warm water port, naval base. I mean, there's considerations. In the case of the U.S. takeover of southeastern Cuba, there is nothing since Cuban independence in 1959. The Cuban government's been trying to get it back. The U.S., of course, refuses. The only justification is that this severely hampers the economic development of Cuba. For 50 years, the United States has been engaged in a significant war against Cuba. Under Kennedy, it was a large-scale terrorist campaign. We don't talk about it here, but it was a very serious terrorist campaign which continued, crushing embargo. Taking over the southeastern Cuba, of course, severely hampers Cuban development. That's the point. This is much worse than the Russians, though their actions are criminal, have a much stronger case. How much have you read in the press about this? And it's not the only case.